Okay, so like ready to dive deep. Today we're tackling, well, I guess you could say one of the biggest stories out there.
Definitely a big one.
Genesis, the book of Genesis. I mean, talk about a text that's had a lasting impact.
Oh, absolutely.
And, a lot of you have been asking us to break down its core messages. So that's what we're here for today, to really dig into it,
Yeah, great choice for a deep dive. Genesis is, it's more than just an ancient story. It lays the groundwork, like the foundation for understanding, I'd say, some pretty big things. Humanity's relationship with God, the whole concept of sin.
Right.
And, of course, the power of faith.
Yeah, and, it's interesting because it all starts with creation.
It does.
Talk about a powerful beginning.
Definitely. Setting the stage right from the start.
6 days, each one carefully structured and ordered, culminating in, well, us, right? God creating humankind in his image.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 7th day, he rests.
Ah, yes, the Sabbath, that seventh day, it's not just about taking a break. It's, I think many scholars see it as this reminder of the inherent value of rest and reflection, something that I think a lot of cultures, especially today, seem to have forgotten.
Oh, for sure.
It's actually kind of a radical concept when you think about it.
It is.
Even God rested. It makes you think, how can we incorporate that sense of sacred rest into our own crazy lives?
That's a good question. It's definitely food for thought.
Mm-hmm.
But, this paradise, this perfect garden, it doesn't last forever, does it?
It doesn't, no.
We come to the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden.
Right.
They're given this one simple rule.
Mm-hmm.
Don't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And, of course, what do?
They can't resist.
He can't resist that forbidden fruit.
It's one of the most interpreted stories ever,
It really is.
Is it literal? Is it metaphorical? Oh, the possibilities are endless.
That's true.
But the core idea, the one that I think resonates across all those different interpretations, is choice. Adam and Eve had free will, and they chose to disobey.
They did.
And that choice, well, that introduces the concept of sin, right? The idea that we can stray, deviate from what's considered right.
Yeah.
But it also, I think, highlights the incredible responsibility that comes with that free will.
For sure. And their choice has some pretty major consequences.
It does.
Not just for them, but for, well, all of humanity.
That ripple effect,
Exactly, the ripple effect.
Yeah.
And speaking of consequences echoing through generations, let's move on to the patriarchal history in Genesis.
Okay.
We meet some, major figures here, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. It's like...
Big names.
Yeah, big names. And it's like watching a family saga unfold, filled with these journeys, trials, and, well, some triumphs too, of course.
And what's fascinating is that, woven through all these stories are God's promises.
Yes.
And this, unwavering faith of these patriarchs. I mean, take Abraham, for example.
Yeah, great example.
God tells him to leave everything he knows, everything familiar.
Everything.
And travel to a land he will show him.
Whoa.
Can you imagine the trust that requires? That leap of faith, it's huge. But through it all, through the trials, the uncertainty, Abraham, with his unwavering belief, becomes known as, well, what?
The father of many nations.
Exactly. A cornerstone of faith for, well, millions and millions.
It's amazing how these stories, though ancient, still resonate.
Right? They absolutely do.
I mean, we all face challenges. We have to make tough decisions. It's almost like their stories, serve as blueprints for navigating those challenges.
They do. Consider Jacob.
Yeah.
He literally wrestled with an angel and with his own internal struggles.
Yeah.
His story, it's a powerful reminder that wrestling with faith, questioning, grappling with our own imperfections, it's all part of the human experience.
Yeah, it is.
And it's through those struggles, I think, that our faith can be refined and our resilience built.
So, we've covered a lot today. We've talked about creation. We've talked about the fall. We delved into the lives of these, iconic figures, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. It's clear, I think, that even though Genesis was written, thousands of years ago?
Thousands.
The themes it explores, faith, choice, resilience, they still have this, profound impact.
Absolutely, a lasting impact.
On us today.
They do. And as you continue to explore Genesis, I want to leave you with something to consider. While these stories are often told from a male perspective, think about the women. Think about their experiences, their perspectives.
That's interesting.
How might those shed new light on these familiar narratives?
Yeah.
What might their stories reveal about faith, about strength and resilience? That's something I think worth pondering.
It is. It is.